It has been a huge day at Wimbledon, including a two-seeded Coco Gauff knocked out of the first round. She lost to Diana Yastremska in straight sets at the All England Club. This is the second time in the past 3 years now that Coco Gauff has lost in the first round at Wimbledon, the fourth time overall at a Grand Slam. This is the first time in the Open era that 3 of the top 5 seeds have been knocked out of the women's draw, but it's not just on the women's side. Overall, including Coco Gauff, now 8 of the top 10 seeds have been knocked out of Wimbledon in the first round. It has been a very interesting tournament thus far. For more on that, we welcome in our very good friend, Brad Gilbert, who is there at the tournament, former player himself who has coached the biggest names in the world, including Coco Gauff. Brad, from what I understand, look, there was a lot of moving of courts. She was inside instead of outside. What did you see from Coco Gauff in this first round?
I mean, I got to tell you, man, these first 2 days, normally you can count on rain. You don't count on 91 degrees yesterday, 95 degrees today, and the matches usually first couple of days on the center and court 1 are one-sided. But they've been long. We've had a 4.5-hour Alcarz match, a 4.5-hour Zverev match, which have pushed the matches late into the evening, and we've had to go indoors because of darkness. Coco's match and court was going so slow that at 7:30 they moved her from center court to court 1, and she had to play indoors. And obviously she wouldn't have had any indoor preparation, but full credit to her opponent, Yastremska. And upsets are contagious. Once, you start getting these upsets, the lower-ranked players start to believe, why not me next?
And you mentioned that yesterday we saw Alexander Zverev lose in straight sets as well. And maybe that set this whole thing off, though. What happened to him?
Well, we stopped that match last night at 10:57, 3 minutes before curfew, at 1 set all. And I thought he would come back today and win against Rinderknecht for sure. And of course, I was wrong. He loses that in 5 sets. But once again, he didn't lose it. His opponent won it. I was really surprised. And his opponent, Rinderknecht, came in, a Frenchman who played for Texas A&M, with an 8-17 record on the season. But he played and served amazing. We had Pegula, who had won a grass court tune-up, just on Saturday, beating Swiatek. And a lot of people's favorite to win this tournament. Go out today against Kochereta very easily. And another top 5 seed, Zhang, go out. So I really believe it's the belief. Once these players start to lose, it's kind of that murmur in the locker room. And then maybe the seeds start feeling like, uh-oh, hopefully it's not me next.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to continue with Wimbledon, but I kind of want to go back to Coco Gauff for a second, since you did coach her, and we were looking at her history in Wimbledon, and obviously she's coming off her win at the French Open. The U.S. Open is just around the corner. As a coach, when you're talking to somebody who loses in these, just huge tournaments like this, what do you talk to them about? How do you bounce back from that?
Well, it's obviously incredibly gutting. And, when a player does lose like that, you got to give them their space, and then in a few days, you regroup. And the one thing about tennis or sports, the result is not coming back. All you can do is move forward and start your preparation for this summer. I think as a player, if you win 1 Grand Slam in a season, it's a great year. If you win 2, it's an amazing year. So she can completely, it won't, make the Wimbledon loss sting and not go away, but you can put it behind you by having a great result at the U.S. Open. And obviously Coco 2 years ago won it. So, that's a place that, she feels great going to. So that's the most important thing is, as a tennis player, is you look forward. But I tell you, tomorrow, though, we're going to get back to normal and get cool weather, get some rain, and maybe we'll get back to normal. But we're going to have some sections now where you're going to go, uh-oh. But just remember, Amanda, in the last 3 years at this tournament on the women's side, the winner has been an 80-1 shot or longer. And in the last 8 years, we've had 8 different winners. And 5 of those 8 are already retired. So to say that it was crazy, but we've been having this trend now for a while in the women's. In the men's, it's been much more chalk, and we've had, much more predictable. So who knows where we'll go, but I do know one thing. I said a couple of days ago to Haley that expect the unexpected in the women's, and we've seen long shots, and maybe we're going to have another incredible long shot win this tournament.
Absolutely, especially on the women's side with what we've seen so far. 3 out of the top 5 seeds now out of the tournament. Over on the men's side, as you mentioned, it is a little chalkier. 2 of the favorites to win this. They have a very deep rivalry. It has a nickname, Sinkraz. You have Jannik Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz. The way you've seen them play thus far, who do you have a little more faith in right now?
Well, Carlos, I call him escape from Alcaraz, which he did escape a little bit in round 1, winning in 5 sets, is trying to do something historic in men's tennis. It's only happened one other player, Rafa never did it, is win 2 consecutive European doubles, the French in Wimbledon, 2 consecutive years. Only the great Bjorn Borg did it 3 straight years. So Carlos is aiming for his 3rd straight Wimbledon. I have him as the favorite, and Sinner has obviously never gotten to a final, but if he can put that final loss behind him in Paris, he was so close. I would love to see a rematch. I think that Draper, the Englishman, I think that he's going to, be there before all said and done. I still like Djokovic. So there's still a lot on the men's side of the top 4 or 5 favorites. I think they'll be there at the business end of the tournament. But me personally, I want to see Sinner versus Alcaraz, a repeat of what we saw in Paris.
Look, absolutely, that would be phenomenal. One other player that you didn't mention, though, Taylor Fritz, and things made headlines there because his opening match, they were 4 sets in yesterday. It got pushed to today, but as you mentioned, we're seeing a lot of weird things happen at Wimbledon. He was able to go ahead and win that. What are you making of his game so far?
Man, amazing effort. Down 2 sets to none. And he was down 5-1 in that 4-set breaker. He was toast. But Pericard missed a bunny at 5-2 to give him 4 match points, and Fritz took full advantage. Now, if you look at Fritz's draw, because Zverev was in there, Medvedev was in there, all the top seeds are gone. It's a great chance for Taylor Fritz to make his first semis at Wimbledon. You don't want to get ahead of yourself, but he plays, how about this, back-to-back 6'8" guys. You thought after getting through the 6'8" Pericard, he's going to play 6'8" Canadian Diallo. So he's going to face another big server, but Fritz is on house money. I think he'll play a lot better second round, and his draw is wide open now.
Brad, we appreciate it. I hope it cools down. I know over in Europe in general, just in general, it's been absolutely miserable with the weather there. Not a lot of AC either, so hopefully the rain moves in and you get to cool down a little bit. Thank you so much for joining us.
No AC at my place. They think AC is a Dyson, and normally, if we get 70 degrees here, they think it's a heat wave. So 95 degrees, people are like red lobsters here.
So what's around your neck, right? Like, what do you have? Like what is that? Is that to keep you cool?
I was wearing this on the way home, so I wouldn't get. It's kind of a neck gaiter, so I wouldn't get my neck burned walking home. The sun stays out here till about 9:45, and it gets light at 3:45 a.m. So I took my suit off, put the neck gaiter on, walked back. Now I have a couple of beers.
Oh, gosh, much deserved, and hopefully they're cold enough over there. Brad, have a great night. We'll talk to you as the tournament continues to roll along. Wednesday, notable matches that we've got coming up, including the 1 seed Ariana Sabalenka there. If you want to wake up, hopefully it's not too early for you, 8:30 a.m., get some coffee and be ready for that to kick off. But also Carlos Alcaraz, who you heard Brad say, keep an eye on him as one of the favorites, the favorite to go ahead and win this tournament.